Hi, welcome to today's tutorial, and I'm going to be showing you how to make your character jump and also how to make your character double jump if you want to add double jump to your character mechanics. So I currently have a simple FPS controller. As you can see, we can move, come back, move sideways. Uh, Currently, I'm going to add jump to this. So currently I can't jump, so I'm going to show you how to add jump to this. Let's get right into it. Let's start by opening up our FPS script. So I created a script called FPS, and I'm just going to open it up. So as you can see, this is where I am, doing all the movement for the character and for the camera also. So I'm just going to add pseudocode called jump, and then I'll say public float jump force. Since we're going to have a double jump, I'm going to define that float. I'll make it public. I'm going to make everything public here. I'll make it public float double jump force. I'm also going to create a max jump. I'll make a public custom so we can, play with it when uh, can play with it in the inspector. I'll call it max jump. Then I'll check for write another pseudo code called ground check. So I'm going to create public for ground check. Let's just say ground checkpoints. Don't mind my naming, the way I name things. Just that's just me. Terrible at naming variables. I'll call it public radius, and then we need a layer to check for a ground layer. So yeah. We're gonna have to save these and go here. So let's just so I already have the ground check transform, which is this. So we're just gonna put it beneath the layer. Now for these you can also just use the player's capsule. You check for the player's position and also for the player's capsule height, which is this here. You can use this to check for ground when the player is touching the ground or not. You can do that, or you can just create um, the empty game objects as a transform to check, and then you create this and whichever one you want to use. But I'm going to be going with this method. Creating an empty game object and then attaching it to the ground checkpoint transform reference. Yeah. So yeah. Uh, Next thing we're going to do is we need to say jump or we have to check for the ground first, and then I'll just say jump or ground check. Okay. So say grounded. Oh, we need to create a bow. I forgot we need to create a bow called bow is grounded. So say it is grounded. Say okay, this is public this is that took way too much time. Well, sphere. Okay, this. So check for the radius, the position, and then yeah. Oh, sorry. I'm supposed to use checks here. Then we'll see it is bounded, right? We'll set, so we need to create a job count. Do that here. Public. Say public element. So say job count. So let's say come here. Say use the depth 14. Units. Then we have to create a function called attempts jump. I'll just say jump function counts. Call the function called but we have to create this function. So we'll say jump. Jump. So if we're grounded and then our jump so okay, I don't like this. This is, so I'll print this out first. I'll say jump counts equals max jump. I'll say 10. Let's say vector velocity because of RB velocity. Then we'll say velocity 1 equals 0. Linear velocity. RB. Did I create jump first? No. So we have to create jump first, which is I'm just going to. Okay. Yeah. Okay. And then yeah, one last thing. Jump count. So just come here and say ground check. Let's view this and test this. We'll let it compile. Go back to the code. So what I'm doing here is simple. We oh okay. I thought I called check. I did call jump. Okay. So we created variables for jump force, for double jump force. We also create to check. No, we can jump twice, right? So this is the max jump. We equals to 2, and then we create a jump count to count how many times we've clicked on our jump button key, or how many times we've jumped. And then we create jump checkpoints, which is the empty game object to check if we are on the ground or not. And we check for the ground radius, and also check for ground layer to see if this also is check. Essentially, this is just for the ground layer. So let me explain that. So this is our ground. This cube here is our ground, and then it has a layer of defaults, right? So this guy is going to be checking for this guy, all right? So this guy essentially is what it helps us to know if this our enemy is on the ground or not, right? Using this guy, all right? So yeah, so that's what it is. I'm just going to come here and say defaults. All right. So when this is so when all this is true, this is going to be true. All right. So this is what we're doing here. We're just using a check sphere. We check for our position. This is our checkpoint position. This position. Right. We check for reads, and then we cast. We use the radius to check. We just cast the radius. We cast a sphere with the radius, right? And then we check for this ground layer. So if all this is true, right? So you can see we're saying this ground equals this. So if this is true, our jump count is equals 0 because we are not yet clicking on our jump button. So when we click on our jump button, we call this function, and essentially what this function does is it just checks if jump count is greater or equals max jump. If it is, it stops calling this, right? I don't know why this is just jump count is supposed to be. And then the fork. I really don't know what's wrong with this, so can't do anything. So yeah. I'm gonna be okay. So I think Visual Studio.net is just messing with me. So yeah, once we click this and then we check if this is greater or equals to max jump. If it is, we just return back to this. We don't go to this place because we only want to jump twice, right? When you jump and you click on the button again, it can add more force to it. That's for the double jump, right? And that will only happen when you've jumped already, when you clicked on this button already, right? So we just create a velocity. We add our rigid body velocity to the velocity we've created, and then we made y parallel, so we make it 0, and then we later add this velocity back to our rigid body velocity, and then we say jump count equals so if jump is 1, meaning if we've jumped already, right, we add jump force, and if not, we double jump, if that makes sense. So if we jump already, if jump is 1, we add jump force, right? And if it's not, we just double jump, and then we add force to our rigid body using that. So, and I think something this should be calling here first. No, this should also be This should be 0. So if jump counts as 0, right, then we add jump force. That means we just want to jump, right? But if it's not, meaning we are double jumping, right? So if jump force is 0, we just want to jump, like we are jumping for the first time. This is our first jump, right? So if this is 0, it's going to add this to our character force while jumping, meaning we are just jumping for the first time, right? So there I think I'm going to, so there are 2 jump force, one for the normal jump, one for double jump. So this one comes when we are still on the ground, right? And this one comes while we're on the air, right? So if this is 0, it gives us this, or, and if it's not, meaning we're already on the air, it gives us our double jump force, right? So yeah, and then we say jump count counts, jump, we add, uh, so why this is so let me explain this better. So this jump plus plus means, so once we come here to check, right, if it's false, all this will happen. It comes again when you click on the jump button again, it comes here again to check. Once it's false again, it does this again, so increments jump again. So once this becomes 2 and is equals this, it will not respond, this will not go to this place anymore, to just stop here. That's why we're adding return, right? So let's see it in action. So yeah, I'm just going to, no, jump is gonna be, I'll give jump force 5, I'll give this, let me just give another 5. So let's see it in action. So currently you can see we are on the ground, meaning our ground check worked. We are on the ground, so it checks for ground. We are on the ground. So when we say we jump, you can see we jump, and then you can see it had extra force again to it. So first, if I don't click on the button again, it's just going to the normal force. But if I click on the button, you can see. So yeah, we have a character that moves and jump, and then jump, jump. So this is how to create a jump system in Unity, a simple jump system in Unity, and also how to create a simple double jump system in Unity. If you find this tutorial helpful, please like, subscribe, turn on your notification button, and see you in the next tutorial. Thank you very much.